Welcome to Bourbon School. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Brian, and today we are going to review the latest bottle from Knob Creek and give it a grade.
Not a good one. Okay, Brian, tell us a little bit about this special Knob Creek edition.
So I just got this yesterday. It's a fairly new bottle. It's Knob Creek. I don't even know how you would say this. Would you say Bourbon X Rye, Bourbon times Rye?
I would
or
say
Bourbon
times, but I'm no mathematician.
Rye? Bourbon times Rye. Okay. So this is a blend of, it's right here. I had to look it up, but it's right there. I guess I didn't read it very well. Okay. So it's a boo rye, basically, but it's a little more of a rye than a bourbon.
Well, there's so much rye in this that it's questionable.
So we already did give it a little try beforehand. That's something we're going to try and do, like when we taste them first and then kind of taste them again for the review. But I think we've had a bunch that maybe we were too hasty on.
I agree, yeah.
And
sometimes the first sips aren't the best sips, so it's good to taste a little bit and then regroup.
Or if you're Ben from the Bourbon Note, I'll give this. I'll say Ben. It must be because of the neck pour. He hates the idea of the neck pour. I don't know if you watched the Whiskey Six last night.
I think that there's a little something to the neck pour. Sorry, Ben.
He did a whole it was like watching Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men. He was just hammering with questions, hammering, working the witness and.
I get the science isn't behind it. I think that there's just some mysticism behind it.
Mysticism.
That's what we have to just accept, that there's something about the initial pour.
So I did look this up because I couldn't find any reviews. I know Brian and Deb on Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast did a review, but I couldn't find any just a page of information on it. So I looked it up and then I realized that everything I need is right here. So it is 30% Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey 9 year. So I'm assuming this is standard Knob Creek 9 year and then the standard rye, right? The 7 year rye. But that's 70% 7-year rye. So this is not a 50-50 kind of like a straight boo rye kind of deal.
Track record with rye, we're already setting ourselves up for disappointment.
Yeah. And so, I'm a Knob Creek fan. You like Knob Creek. We like Knob Creek. I will tell you, our initial sip of this was it wasn't optimal, let's say. But it's 113 proof. Let's give it another shot and see what we think.
Maybe it improved greatly in the last half hour. What do you think?
It could have, because of the neck pour. So it smells great. When I smell it, it doesn't smell too much like a rye. It does smell like Knob Creek bourbon. It's caramely. It smells sweet. But then when you taste it,
guess what? I think it has improved since the initial pour. Ben. A little bit.
It has.
It was pretty gnarly on the first pour. It had no flavor to it.
We're using some excellent vocabulary choices today.
Gnarly is a good one, yeah. But when we first tried it, what did we both say?
Watered down.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I said about the Knob Creek rye. We did a short way, way back. Marianne and I went to a local bar and I got a pour of the Knob Creek rye. And the first thing I said was, it is watered down. There's not a lot of flavor. And I didn't like the Knob Creek rye. And so after I tasted this and then looked at the bottle and saw it was 70% the rye, I was like, oh, there it is. But you are 100% right.
It's a little bit better now.
The next few sips have been better. So I'm going to give it another sip.
Yeah, I think it's still thin, especially for being 113. But it has a little bit of spice on it. Yeah. It doesn't have a bad. There's a little bit of a funk to it, I think. Yeah. It doesn't taste quite right to me.
Almost like the bourbon and the rye don't mix well together. Yes. Yeah. There's some, you're right. There is some kind of funk, but you do get a peppery note from the rye. You do get some vanilla. What I'm not getting is a lot of that sweetness and nuttiness that I'd like to get from Knob Creek.
Right. All the natural flavors of Knob Creek or the traditional ones are really stripped of this because of that high rye content.
Yeah, I think that 70% rye
it just blew over the bourbon.
Yes, I agree.
So I would not pick this up.
I probably wouldn't, and we'll tell people I got this. The MSRP it says is $44.99. I got it for $46.99.
Okay, not bad.
It was the last one on the shelf, so it seems to be pretty popular. Okay, so knowing the price, having tasted it a couple times now, what are you going to give it?
A C.
C. Okay. I think now that I've had a couple more sips and I've enjoyed it a little more,
You're going to give it a C+.
I would give it a C+. Yeah, I would give it a little bit better, but I don't think I would buy another one.
No.
Like I would much rather buy a regular Knob Creek 9 at this point because
if you're going to it should say rye times bourbon, not bourbon times rye on here, because it's a rye.
Yeah, it is.
That percentage.
It is a rye with the slightest suggestion of Knob Creek bourbon, and I just like what Knob Creek bourbon has to offer, so I want more of that in the bottle.
Right, there are much better options if you're buying Knob Creek than this.
Yeah, and if I was going to buy a Boo Rye, I'd buy a Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. I think it's better. And the cast strength's even better. And the cast strength of Lost Monarch is probably close to this. It's probably like 117, so it might be a little higher, but it's very close to this. But yeah, C and a C+. I think if that was 50-50,
maybe
I might give it a B or a B+. Okay. I would maybe that's an experiment we have to try. We need to get a Knob Creek Rye and a Knob Creek 9 and do a 50-50 and compare it to this and see if we would like that better.
You're a master mixer over here now, so I've heard.
I am in the final four of Blend Sanity 2024, people. So check that out on, well, wait, what's today?
Today's the 17th?
Today is Thursday, so it's happening. It's happening. It already happened. The final four already happened Saturday, so this will be out on Monday. So either I am going to be heading to the finals or I'm going to be ashamed and a loser. So
either way, we love you here.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the producer goes, yeah, I know. All right, guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell for notifications.
So you never miss another episode of Bourbon School.
Cheers.
Cheers.